From the remnants of Janus City comes a broadcast that will shake the Empire to its core. Rogue One Radio will discuss all things Star Wars and all things in the nerd culture, in and out of the galaxy far, far away.
Hey folks, you are watching Rogue One Radio. I am 1/3 of your host team, Steve. With me right now is DJ, and Nicole will be along shortly. How's it going, DJ? How you been doing this week?
Hello. I'm good. I'm doing good. Yeah. Fun and fantastic week, I guess you'd say.
What have you been doing this week? Anything interesting?
Gee, what have I been doing this week? Lots of work. Was handed a really big project. I had a couple of interviews, or a interview that went really well this week. Watched some Star Wars, watched some Marvel, read some books. Yeah. A little of this, a little of that. How about you? What'd you get up to?
Started the new job last week. So that's going good.
Nice.
Did a little bit of reading. Been trying to catch up on my Star Wars comic book reading. And Nicole's with us. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. Long time no see.
Yeah, I know,
huh? So, like I was saying, been trying to catch up on my Star Wars comic reading. I'm almost there. I'm caught up on Dr. Aphra. I'm caught up on High Republic. Caught up on Darth Vader. Caught up on the flagship series. And almost caught up on... Oh, the one thing that I'm lacking is the Bounty Hunter comic series, which I'm terribly behind on that one. That's
too.
it. That's really all I've been reading. No, not really any video games. I don't even have my PlayStation hooked up right now. I had to move all my stuff out of the game room to move my daughter and her kids into because they packed up their house and actually sold it this past weekend. So, or they've got an offer and they accepted it. So I don't know how all that's going to go, but by all intents, they sold their house. So they're staying with us until they go to Michigan. Of course, they're going before us. RFB's in the house. Hey, RFB, good to have you.
RFB.
Other than that, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. Just getting ready for the move, and that's about it, really. How about you, Nicole? What have you been up to this week?
I've been in continuous bookworm hibernation, minus today. Today I just had so much other stuff to do. I didn't have a chance yet to even open up a book. So that is what I've been doing. Nonstop reading, dare I say, the Bridgerton series. I know it's not your boys' thing. Okay, I get it. But
I saw the show.
And it by the way, the books are different. Per usual, So I've been enjoying them and seeing the differences, and eventually I'll get back to my Star Wars stuff too, so I'm not too worried. But I want to show you guys something. I meant to show you guys this last week. I don't know the artist's name, but it's a big thank you to Rachel at Reaper Girl, because she sent this very special to me, and I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Can y'all see that? It's
cool.
Leia.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. But sadly, I can't remember the artist's name, and the artist did not sadly include her name or book, even a business card inside. So I would love to share the name. I'm like, I would if I could. When I find out, I will share it with everybody here. But I just wanted to share because this is so stinking cute, and I wanted to give Rachel a huge shout out because that was really sweet. It was
Nice.
quite
That's cool.
quite
What is that thing behind you there? You've got. There's a box behind you that
Yes.
has
So this
Grogu
was
and
a Christmas present that was given to me that I have to still build, and it is a Mandalorian and Grogu puzzle.
A
Oh, nice.
3D puzzle.
Yeah,
That's
is that
cool.
cool? I'm
That is
looking
cool.
forward to it. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Actually, hold on. If I turn it around, you guys can kind of see a little bit more. Looks like the Razor Crest is in there too. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
A friend gave it to me for Christmas, and I have got to put it together. So this way, at least if it's there, it's in sight. It's not out of mind. You know, to do it. You know, I love puzzles. So that, and because
Nice.
if I open it soon, I'm probably not going to, because I'm like, you know, this shelf here is pretty much all in box. So
Yeah. So, Spencer's in the house with us. Hey, Spencer, how's it going? So Nicole, tell us about the special podcast you did last night.
oh, I did that too. Okay, hold up. I did do that too. That was so much fun. Okay, thank you. So last night I hosted on Galaxy. Anyways, with Amanda, she was very kind and let us host on her since I was having technical issues to get it onto ours. But it is what it is. It was awesome. We celebrated Betty White yesterday. Huge thank you again to Amanda and to Chantel at Scarab Podcast and Luna Girl from Sidebar Cantina, because they joined me. It was a blast. If you watch it, I'm sure you guys will be laughing at us. It's much fun laughing.
With you.
Oh, sorry, with us as it was at us, because it was downright funny. I felt like even everybody in the chat, I'm like, did like Rue McClanahan and like Betty White get into you guys? Because it just if you saw the chat, you know what I'm talking about, and those who are watching, who watched yesterday, know what I'm talking about. And one particular word kept coming up through the chat, and it was just hilarious. It was a fun. A great time. So, and who knew this one moment? It had 8 decades, you guys. 8 decades underneath her belt of sitcoms, ad-libbing. You guys, could you guys imagine us doing this 6 days a week? Okay, 6 days a week. Hold on, I'm not done yet. For 4 years, 5.5 hours a day, ad-libbing. Gentlemen.
No, there's no way.
Just me? Come on, Gene.
Amazing. I mean, I'm in awe.
And that was even before, like, she even did Life with Elizabeth. And that's the other thing. And the funniest thing is I found out when I was doing research was that when she was originally looking to do movies after she had volunteered during World War II, they were telling, oh, you're not photogenic, you can't do this, yada, yada, yada. So she started doing radio instead. And she got the last laugh. I'm sorry. Like, she went out. She's amazing in movies, amazing in shows, game shows. She's the first lady of television and game shows, and she had the last laugh. So whoever those exact words or whoever was working below them, they didn't know what they're talking about.
Nice.
So.
So yeah. Oh, you know what? The other thing that's going on. Oh, it didn't happen last week. But this week we are closing on our house in Michigan.
Nice.
Thursday. Yeah. So
You're gonna be here closer to me. I'm excited.
yeah. Who knows when I'll be there, but you know, at least we'll have the house taken care of. Be good. All right. So if you are watching us, we are Rogue One Radio. This is episode number 68. We're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 3. And just to start things off, a little shout out here to the Red 5 Network. We are a part of the Red 5 Network. A lot of really great podcasts on that network. Not all are Star Wars, but many of them are. But if you are a nerd of any type of nerd culture, there is something out there for you. So check it out at red5network.com. If you are watching us on YouTube, or even if you're not, go back and check our YouTube and like this show. And more importantly, subscribe to our channel, please. And if you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, you can go to Rogue Number One Radio. And who do we got in the chat? Still just RFB and Spencer. Kind of a slow night. It's all right. That's good.
All right.
We're gonna party anyway. So as I said, we're gonna be talking about Book of Boba Fett, but we've got some other stuff we're gonna talk about as well. Start off with some news. I guess we can start there. And as I mentioned before the show, if we want to talk about these headlines, we can. If not, they're just out there for you folks to know about. The first one I have is regarding Amazing Spider-Man, the comic, that is. Marvel is going to be relaunching Amazing Spider-Man in April with a new number 1. So the article says that it's a relaunch, but I'm pretty sure that it is not a reboot. I would hope not. That would be kind of silly. But it's going to be taken over by a new creative team. Currently, it's being written by Nick Spencer. When the relaunch happens, it'll be written by Zeb Wells and illustrated by John Romita Jr. So
interesting.
So if you are an Amazing Spider-Man fan, of the comics, might be worth jumping on. If you've been behind on it, maybe a good starting off point for you. I started reading the Nick Spencer run, but I'm not caught up at all. Next piece of news. It has been reported that Tim Allen is returning for a Santa Claus Disney Plus limited series. So he's going to be returning, of course, as Scott Calvin. Disney Plus doing I guess you can call it a mini series.
Yeah. I just hope it comes out. You know what I mean? Because I felt like in the trilogy, right? The first one was the strongest. The second one was good.
Yeah.
The third with Martin Short, even though I love Martin Short, it's it was good. It's like a C. So I really hope they bring all the enchantment and Disney wonder that Disney does have to this movie. They did it with the original, and I just hope they can capture that in a beautiful way.
I agree. I hope they take the magic of the first one and bring it together.
I agree, and I hope that they do. I just do not hold any.
You're not holding your breath.
Yeah, because they did progressively get worse, and as much as I like Tim Allen,
right.
I don't think this one's going to jump the shark. I think this is just going to seem like another rehash, and I think it's going to be looked at along the same lights of the Home Alone sequels.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what I don't want to have happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
There wasn't any release date. The only other thing that I saw in the article was that the working title is The Santa Claus. So not a whole lot of news about it other than
they're
going to have Tim Allen return. Next piece of news is regarding a Weird Al Yankovic biopic. According to CBR.
No, it's true. I can confirm that because he himself actually tweeted that today.
Okay, so yes, according to the article that I read, the star of the film is going to be none other than Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep, and that actually is what he actually tweeted.
So,
Okay, hold on. Hold your face, okay, for a moment
I
there.
like the idea of a Weird Al Yankovic buyout because I'm a big fan.
Because my brain goes, if this man trusts Daniel Radcliffe to play him, and if he's already talking about him, we have to trust just a wee bit more than what your face is giving off right now.
Because let's see, I've seen Radcliffe in Harry Potter, and I've seen him in a few of the more dramatic pieces. Now You See Me Too, not quite so drama, but it wasn't his best performance either. I was thinking that this would have been perfect for someone like Jim Carrey, who has the expressiveness with body language that I think that Weird Al has, because that guy is all over the place. Not only is he insanely smart to be able to come up with the lyrics that he does, he's extremely musical. And if you've ever seen any of his live stuff, he's very, very physical. So I'll check it out, but I don't know. It seems like an odd casting choice. Just odd. I'll see it, but it just seems odd.
Another thing about Weird Al Yankovic is often when he does his concerts, he calls upon members of the 501st to join him on stage.
Yes.
While he does The Saga Begins.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, yeah, Weird Al, good Star Wars fan. Spencer says that he agrees. Jim Carrey would be better, but he's too busy being in Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure he has room for more movies, but we'll see how Daniel Radcliffe does. I think
we'll see.
He might blow our minds.
Yeah. He
That
might
is
do a great
cool.
job. He might do an amazing job.
Well, I just had another thought. There's a clip of Daniel Radcliffe on Jimmy Fallon where he does this rap, and he goes throughout the whole alphabet. And I don't know if you guys have seen it or not.
No, but
I know what you're talking about.
After we're done.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty insane, the mind athletics that Radcliffe goes through in order to be able to recite this whole rap. It's pretty interesting.
Maybe that's what they went off of. Maybe that was something that captured their attention, that they're like, whoa, hold up. If he can do that, maybe he can do this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Just keep your optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your optimism there, DJ.
Yeah.
Or keep us two next to you. We'll punch it around you.
So another piece of news for fans of King of the Hill. King of the Hill is returning as part of a new animated company founded by Greg Daniels and Mike Judge.
I knew that was coming.
So, yeah, we're getting a return of King of the Hill.
Well, after they said that they're going to do the Beavis and Butthead remake, then I knew that this was going to be along that lines as well. So,
yeah, this one was a little bit more TV palatable.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I would have been more excited if they would have said Seth MacFarlane was involved as well. Because I know that they had talked to him about doing some stuff and putting like Family Guy in there in that group, but he turned them down, I believe, is the rumor that I saw.
Cool. Next piece of news. There has been reported, also got this one off CBR. It looks as if Bo-Katan is getting her own series. It says Star Wars Bo-Katan series reportedly in development.
A Night Owl series, that'd be interesting, I guess.
I think I'm going to say this and agree or not agree, but I think that it's probably going to be in a replacement of something else. Let's just be honest. Like for me,
you are probably right.
I think it's replacing something, and I think they're utilizing another very popular, well-liked Star Wars to do this in replacement of something else. Personally, that's what I'm thinking.
You could be right.
That's also why they might be holding off on so much else, and not because of the letter C word. Because honestly, if Marvel's putting out as much as they are, and Netflix is too, I'm sorry, only this can get you so far.
Yeah,
my opinion. That's my opinion. So
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Me neither. I think it will be great, but I don't think that was the original intention. I think.
And what was the name of that other show?
Right, Rangers.
Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah. I think that this will be a Rangers replacement.
Yep. I think.
And that is fine and dandy. I still stick with. They need to get the Marvel writers over to Lucasfilm and have them write.
Favreau is a Marvel guy, so I don't know. There's just a few things you'd think that he would be moving that along. I'm with you on this, like especially
as much as I like Jon Favreau, and this will lead into tonight's discussion as well. I'm hoping he's not getting stretched too than.
Oh, that's true.
I would like to see him more as an executive producer and overseer than a writer that, because he does an amazing job. Let him direct. Let him be an executive producer. Let him come up with the story idea, but let somebody else write it. I don't want him to get burnt out, and I don't want him to get stretched too thin where things seem watered down.
Doesn't that sound like another Star Wars guy that we know? Oh, wait, was his name George Lucas and actually ended up in... This is true. This is true. I hear what you're saying, and I do agree. I would not, especially for his own health, I wouldn't want him to ever be stretched thin.
And Spencer says he doesn't want Star Wars to turn into Marvel, and I agree. I'm just talking about content of writing, not necessarily. They don't have to have things all interconnected, but the writing of it, even Mandalorian, just I don't know. It's. Overall, it's done well, but I just if they're going to do more, I think that it needs to be written a little more thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that'll help things, but I don't know. But
yeah.
And Spencer said, that the story is good so far. Yeah, the story is good. I just think that we're getting too much of two stories crammed into one. So, which could be writing or it could be execution.
Execution.
I'd say it's a little bit of both. But we'll get into that when we start nitpicking the show, which I have a nice list of things to to talk about. So yes, next news. So we can
Next news. Okay.
Ready. He's in.
All right. Let me pull up my news. Close down my browser here. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. So Nintendo Switch is getting a new Donkey Kong game. According to the article that came from comicbook.com, this is a rumor. But I guess the last Donkey Kong game was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Sounds like a drink.
The reports are saying that there's going to be a new Donkey Kong game specifically for the Switch. Because where else would they put it? And yeah, I don't know. I'd probably play it. I don't.
I have to get a Switch first, but you know,
I have. Well, I don't have one. My wife has one, and I play.
I had two and sold them because I got bored with it. So,
well, she has one, and I play Civilization 6 on it from time to time. But I keep meaning to go out and get. I keep hearing about Metroid Dread, and keep meaning to go pick up a copy of it. But I haven't yet because I can't find a pre-owned one yet, and I really don't want to spend $60 on a video game. Although I probably will. But yeah, no, I'd probably play this. I don't know. Seems like it'd be interesting. There's also a article that I picked up that the headline was PlayStation may have just accidentally confirmed PS3 backward compatibility on the PS5. So essentially, I mean, that's pretty much all the article. It just kind of goes more in depth on what they're talking about is that there is a possibility that the PS5 is going to have a PS3 backwards compatibility patch at some point. I don't know how that's going to work.
This was a rumor when it first started. The development kit that they used for PS5 was based off of the PS3 technology.
Okay.
Or the chipset was originally on the PS3, and then of course they souped it up a lot. So there was a lot of rumors that they were going to do the PS3 backwards compatibility. Sony said that the only thing that they're going to do for backwards compatibility was if you have PS3 games that are downloaded, you could possibly get those to work on a PS5. But as far as physical discs, it's only going to be PS4.
Okay.
So
well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's download, and they are talking about expanding the digital library to expand to play some of the some of the better or number one rated PS3 games on the PS5, but you'd have to download them to play. It's not it won't be physical material.
All right, I'd be fine with that. I mean, as long as I don't have to stream it, like with the PS Now function. So Ro from Scare Scuttlebutt is in the house with us. Welcome, Ro. Good to have you. All right, last piece of news that I have is also video game related.
Sweet.
And
Here it is, Spencer. Hold on to your seats.
Microsoft has announced the acquisition of Activision Blizzard.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So not only does Xbox now have Bethesda, and it is likely that all of their future games will be Xbox exclusive. Now we've got games such as Call of Duty, Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, StarCraft, and others that could very well end up exclusive due to them falling under the Xbox banner.
If I saw right, Phil Spencer did make an announcement that if it is backwards compatible or if it's multi-system now, it will be multi-system for the future. They
good.
might have exclusive content and exclusive launch as far as you might be able to get it first for, say, the first 3 months on Xbox before you get it on other systems. But if it is if the game was made such as Call of Duty, which is cross-platform, it will continue to be cross-platform. The main caveat was all the digital titles that that were not released on, say Guitar Hero, that might not be released on physical media anymore, will be on Xbox. So if you wanted to play the original, I don't know, one of the original Call of Duties, now you'll have to play it on Xbox rather than other systems. So, most of it's going to be multi-platform or cross-system, but there will be some titles that are there. So, huge news. It was like, what, they bought them for $67 billion?
Yeah, crazy.
I'm just excited because we might get some more Guitar Hero games. Let's do it. I love Guitar Hero. My family loves playing Guitar Hero. So she got tired of talking about video games.
Got tired of us talking about video games and left.
Talk some sparks.
I had to do a stretch. I had to stretch my arms. So
okay.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Hectorian is with us in the chat now.
It's a party now. Hector's here.
Woohoo!
Right.
Cheersy.
All right. That is all for the news.
Woo!
So coming up next, we are going to be talking about wait a minute. No, we're not quite ready to talk about Book of Boba Fett. We've got one other thing that we wanted to talk about. Something that popped up on, well, at least for me, it popped up on YouTube yesterday. And I am referring to the trailer for Moon Knight.
Woo!
So, what did you think?
Where do you want to start, me or Nicole?
You look very you both look very excited, but let's go ahead and start with you, GJ.
Yeah, ladies.
Going down the line here.
You've seen Friends, right? All right. Much love. All right. I was not excited for this. I wasn't at all. I was like, okay. All right.
But
this will be weird,
Night.
but okay. And then the trailer came out. And then the trailer came out. And now I'm like, I want it now. Give it to me. I want to see it. And I was blown away by it. I loved all there. I don't know how many times I watched it today because there's so much that's in the background and subliminal and voices and whispers, and it just was wow. It was good. Nicole, what'd you think?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I wanted to go read a comic book afterwards. Okay, so I had the same feeling that I had with WandaVision. I know, and everyone, that's not everyone's cup of tea. Hush, I see that face. But I was excited. That made me want to read. So that is a very good sign for me that this is going to be really good. I'm really, really excited. I'm like you. I saw there. If you watch really carefully, all of a sudden you're like, wait, how many bodies does he have there? You know what I mean? It's really interesting. It plays with your eyes, and I'm excited. I cannot wait. I hope that Marvel hits this one right out of, I hope it's a home run. I really do. And I think it's going to be. My gut feeling is this is going to be amazing. The music was great in the trailer. I hope, okay, y'all, I hope that the show is as strong, if not stronger, than this trailer. Because if it is as strong as the trailer, if not more, then it's gonna blow everything else out of the water. Let's just put it that way. It just looks so good. Yes, go Oscar.
So yeah, there's going to be 6 episodes.
And will Bucky replace? I mean, will Moon Knight replace Bucky? I guess we'll know at the end of the next.
Okay. But it is scheduled for release on March 30th.
I'm excited. Let's go.
And I'm trying to think of a good run of Moon Knight to get you started on, Nicole, but there's so many.
So there's I know obviously there's the original. I want to find the one in which the villain is in, because there's only one.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of already started doing some research. So I don't care. I'll read 1980s, 19 whatever. I don't mind. I love oldie stuff, so I don't mind. So I'm excited to at least check it out. I'm heck yeah, let's go. I'm so excited. I would like to think, well, I don't think this is going to actually, I don't know if this will be in with the other stuff with the multiverse. I don't know yet, but I do wonder if it will kind of get related to Eternals a little bit because of the museum, different museum. Although I did hear that museum was in Budapest.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
if it's Budapest.
Yeah, I thought so, but I mean, I could be wrong.
And lots of gators. I saw lots of little mini gators, and I'm like, are they trying to talk about Loki? Because I see chaos and I see gators. But then I was just like, will they do that? Will they cross those two? And I kind of don't know. I really don't know yet. But I'm excited, and I'm ready to read. I'm ready to research and explore and fall in love with Oscar Isaacs because, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different runs of Moon Knight that would be worth checking out. I mean, there are so many.
Well, and Ethan Hawke, man, dude, I was like, okay, cult leader. I don't know who you are. When I was like, who is I knew it was Ethan Hawke, but it was just like you could see he looked like a cult leader. Like I was just like it, and you could just see that he wasn't him, and it was. I love that, so I'm excited.
Yeah, his character's name is Arthur Harrow.
Right, and I heard that he's only in one comic book. One. And I kind of want to do that one. Although they could have just named that name looks great, but or maybe they're going to relaunch him. You know what I mean, and give him a backstory. But obviously, he's part of some type of cult because the way it looked, I was just like, dude, Moon Knight, just take him down now. Don't wait. Save these souls because that just looked weird. In a good way. In a bittersweet way.
So is Oscar Isaac an American actor or is he a British actor?
Does it matter?
I'm just curious.
I don't know, actually.
Let's see. He is actually Guatemalan.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought most of the stuff I've seen him in was an American accent, but I could have sworn that he had like a British accent in.
What? No, he does. Okay. So but if you listen clearly, go back and watch again. I think we hear several accents several different times, and I don't think they're all the same because I think there's variants of him or.
Okay, let me explain something about the character.
Well, because he has
Mark Spector. Yes, he has multiple personality disorder.
Right.
So
what he said.
Right. So yeah, he probably does have different accents in the show. So yeah, Oscar Isaac himself is actually half Guatemalan and half Cuban.
Oh, like Indiana.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've read quite a few Moon Knight comic books, and there are so many out there. I will check my my Comixology account later and throw a couple of them out to you, Nicole, so you can pick and choose. There's so many. Like,
I know.
there are so many. All right. Well, that does it for Moon Knight. Let's get on to the main event. We're going to talk about some Boba Fett.
I don't know if we're going to talk about it or if DJ's going to talk about it.
DJ is going to have more to say about it than.
I got some important things I would like to add in, but
okay.
you know.
Nicole, would you like to do the synopsis, or do you have a?
No, yes. I mean, I think we've all seen it. I think everybody in the chat has seen this.
I would hope so. If you have not seen Boba Fett Chapter 3, might want to pause this and go watch it because we are not spoiler free.
No.
And you go ahead. You've had time to watch it. The next one comes out tomorrow. I mean, if you're not caught up by now, how are you going to understand the like a Bantha video that we're about to play? Okay, so Chapter 3, The Streets of Mos Espa. Boba Fett is doing his thing where he sits on the throne, and I guess he's like a watermonger comes and wants revenge for some folks that are stealing his water, and he says they're cyborgs, and so Fett goes out there and finds them. And then realizes that they don't have any work and can't pay for the water, and finds out that the guy who came to him is actually overcharging for the water. So he hires the cyborg gang. Then it goes back to the time when he's with the Tuscans. He goes to the Pikes and talks to them, and then he comes back to the village and finds out that it's basically been wiped out by a Nikto gang. And during this flashback, it ends abruptly because he is attacked by Black Santi. And so we get to see our second favorite Wookiee again.
Yay!
And so they fight him off and capture him. And then the Hutt twins show back up and claim that they are the ones that sent him, and apologize and say that they're leaving Tatooine because the mayor is working with another syndicate. And it turns out that other syndicate is the Pike gang. And that's pretty much the end of the episode, except I do want to mention that we get to see a Rancor again. The Hutts actually present Boba Fett with the gift of a Rancor, and its handler is none other than Danny Trejo.
Woohoo!
Actually, don't know what his character's name is in the show, but it's Danny Trejo. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
Danny Trejo.
Machete. It's Machete.
Yeah,
Machete is the Rancor keeper.
Machete.
Yeah.
All right. Nicole,
I'm just like dying.
What do you like about the episode?
I'm just like watching your face, and I'm just over here trying to not just laugh.
Nicole, what did you like about the episode?
I'm glad we're not doing dislikes first, I guess. Overall, I thought, again, better, mostly better. Okay. And everybody knows the least favorite part of this episode. I think everyone has the same least favorite part, I think. I had a hard time. You know what I mean? Again, some parts I like it, especially because of the Rancor, and other things I'm just like,
Just a few things that you really liked about it. You liked the Rancor.
The Rancor. Of course, I liked
Black Santy.
Black Santy. Sure, we'll go with it.
Black Santy.
Well, I like my Chewbacca because he's the man. Ultimately, I had to have some Chewie on me because I love him. And I have a good feeling about that, but I don't know if I want to talk about that now if we're going to get to it later. So I don't want to break down yet if we're not there yet. So, although I'm sure DJ will bust right through that sucker. Like a Rancor. so like a Bantha, it's like a Rancor. Okay. I guess I'm the only one. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm just like by myself here. It's all good.
DJ, what did you like about it?
Yeah, DJ, what did you like about it?
Like about it?
There was actually quite a bit I did like about this episode.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to say that I liked the time management
mostly
best in this one.
Okay.
And I have it broken down. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 segments of this episode.
He's gonna pull out a PowerPoint.
Okay, well, as you go by segment, we can add in because there is things that I really did like, and others that I'm like, eh.
I'm just saying. Before we were getting out of a 30-minute episode, we were getting 20 minutes of a flashback and 10 minutes of present day at the beginning and at the end.
Right.
This one, we have a 7-minute flashback. That's it. A 7-minute flashback that told an extremely powerful story.
Yes.
And we're left with present day to continue the story as it goes along. I absolutely loved that. They told something important. They got it out of the way. Now here's the rest of the story. So right. I liked that part. I liked that we saw Kyrgyzstan show back up.
Yes.
I loved the introduction of the Rancor Bull. I loved the addition of Danny Trejo, and as he explained the intricacies of the Rancor, because it's not just a monster that we saw in Return of the Jedi. It's in a very intelligent and complicated species, and I loved that. I didn't mind the speeders. A lot of people were bashing the look of the speeders. I didn't mind necessarily the look of the speeders. I liked a lot of the actors and actresses that were in there. I liked some of the Easter eggs that we got.
Yes.
So there was a lot I liked about this episode. It's possibly one of the better episodes that we've gotten out of the 3. This might be, man, it's hard to beat the action of the second one, but this one would be close up there. I liked it a lot. There's just a few things that I don't like but they're, to me, major issues. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, okay, just talking about the first 2 episodes, I actually do like the flashbacks. However, I did like that they kept it to a minimum in this one because I was at a point now where I want to see more of what's going on now. So I agree with the time management thing. I like that they spent more time in the present. I, of course, like you, I liked the return of Black Sandy because he has to be in every episode now. And can we say spinoff? Spinoff of a spinoff. And then what else did I like? I liked seeing Danny Trejo. It was kind of interesting that this was his introduction in Star Wars. I would have thought a much more power character.
Right, because he looks like a natural bad, you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, I look at the man and I go, yeah, I want him fighting on my side.
Yeah.
Not against.
But still early, he
Yeah,
could end up being something bigger.
Right.
No, I'm just glad they didn't put him as like a Gamorrean guard, you know, or you know, that we actually got to see him and he interacts with the characters. So yeah, it's that was a pleasant surprise.
I really feel like with this episode, something at least I felt I noticed was I feel like we saw a lot of future allies. Like we already know Fennec's going to be there. Okay, final battle. He's going to be riding on that Rancor, not the Bantha, the Rancor. I believe we are going to see Danny Trejo in the final episode. I don't know if I mentioned it last week. I can't remember, but I think in the long run, I think Black Chrysanthemum is going to come back, and I think he's going to be on Boba Fett's side. I think I mentioned that last week. Like I had a feeling, but now I really have that feeling. Like he's going to come back, and he's going to be on his side. And trust me, I want Black Chrysanthemum on my side. I want him to be my ally because, again, he's like Danny Trejo. I do not want to mess up against those two. I don't think so. Not happening. I mean, I'm going to look at them adorably and try to get them on my side because they're two, you know, very tall, monstrous asses. So, yeah, I expect that this one really, I felt like we're beginning to see what is coming towards the end. I feel like we're going to get a lot of really good allies. I feel we might get a few Tusken Raiders also in the end. I do believe we will still see them. I think they're going to come out from the shadows, and by golly, HEL double hockey sticks about to be raised. So I think that's going to happen in the final episode.
So
Spencer says, lightsaber wielding Rancor keeper is what you're all saying. That sounds pretty badass.
Other things that I liked about this episode, and I kind of mentioned it, was some of the Easter eggs or mentions that we got. They mentioned the Witches of Dathomir in this one, which I thought was really cool to get something that old to be brought back up. You know, it was it's been in canon now, but we really haven't explored too much of it. So I'm hoping that we'll get a little bit more into that at some point, at least in comics or books or something. Maybe the next Fallen Order video game would be pretty cool to see more Witches of Dathomir on. There was an instance in there where Boba says he's ridden bigger creatures, and I was trying to figure out what he could have been talking about, and there was an animated sequence in the holiday special that a lot of people are saying that this is possibly what he was talking about. And a lot of people say that, you know, that was the only redeeming quality of the holiday special. So that could have been it as well. You know, there was the fruit that was at the end of the scene that was brought back from Rebels. And an even newer pop culture reference was when the Pikes arrive via the Starliner. The Starliner that they came in on is the one that they used to model the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser event, ride, whatever you want to call it, at Disney World. It's based off of that. So that was pretty cool to see that they come down, and that's the one that they're saying is what you get to ride in the in this new experience at Disney World. So that there's some more stuff that I like, that a little more in depth. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Nicole, what did you not like?
Well, I want to mention I did not dislike this moment. I want to talk about one real quick thing, and that was the massacre with the Tusken Raiders. He comes back. My heart just drops. Okay. And I had a couple thoughts that quickly came to mind. My first one that actually came to mind was non-Star Wars. And actually it drove me right back to Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, season 3, Washidi. Okay. And those 2 episodes, is part 1, part 2, are actually based off of true story in Native American history with General Custer, right? So they went in and they took all the Native Americans out. And then, of course, in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, they go back, they do the honoring, they burn and things like that. And all I could think about was that moment and how much it seemed like that, but not that, you know? And it made me think about humanity. It made me look at this a little bit differently and went, was not going to like that. That's not going to sit well, and they're going to pay. He knows who did. This is not going to go over well. And I truly believe that when we got the reveal later that the Pikes were at the end, I'm like, HEL double hockey sticks, they're going down. This is one. I think that's where our battle is going to lead. And I truly believe that we might have a few Tusken Raiders still alive. I have my own thoughts as to why I think that they're alive, but I think we'll see a few in the end. But, oh man, I think HEL double hacks is coming, but especially because of humanity. I really, again, my heart dropped at that moment. And again, my brain went straight into, this is galactic Westerns, right? And a lot of times we either see Western or we see samurai. And I think this is a moment where, at least for me, I went, that is very, very Native American history. There was also another thought I had later on thinking about it, and that is it also reminded me of Luke Skywalker when he burnt his, when Vader went, he burnt him, and did the honoring thing. Granted that not a massacre, but still it just felt like there could be something there to it. But that being said, I just felt like that moment, that's going to be a big moment for him as a grown man. I think that is going to be that's it, man. And he's going out for blood. In the long run, I really believe that Boba Fett is going in after them. He was trying to help them, and now game on. You want to play? Yeah. He's not. I think in the long run, I think that's what he's saving his energy for. Right now, he's just kind of tootling along and bantha takes and things like that. But I really believe that's where he really here.
Even on Twitter, there was almost a call to action about the way that I guess it reminded some of the Native Americans and whatnot, and how dare they do this and how dare they show that, and I'm like, well, I mean,
it's history. It's something we can do.
No, I mean, and if you think about it, you have all these people that they should do better. Well, what about Attack of the Clones?
Mm-hmm.
Anakin went in and slaughtered that whole tribe,
right?
Women, children, everyone. I treated them like they were animals,
right?
He slaughtered them all,
right? He slaughtered them
when the Empire went in to look for C-3PO and R2 in A New Hope, they slaughtered all the Jawas. They slaughtered Aunt and Uncle, Skywalker there, but not Skywalker, but Lars.
Lars.
And but all of a sudden, they show it in this one episode, and because you were made to care about these characters, there's an outcry. Well, I mean, yeah, should there be an outcry? Absolutely. It was wrong, and I think justice is coming.
Right.
But
right.
Don't start a cancel war because.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm like, what? I never did that. I said because I only put it in our Discord group. I think I talked about it to a few people, but I never publicly acknowledged it until today. Like I knew I was going to talk about it tonight, so I kept my mouth shut because I knew that this is how I felt, and I wanted my words to be my words and nobody else's. Like this is something, and then because again, my first thought was Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and I could tell you exactly what episode and what season and part 1 and part 2. Like you watch them and you're gonna go, oh, okay, I could see because somebody goes in there because we only get a glimpse. We only get what's the aftermath, so we don't get to see what actually happened during that. But I can only imagine that it is like that where they went in there like General Custer and just went, whew, and took them down. And obviously they must have had enough because Tusken Raiders are pretty darn strong, and they took them out.
Right.
You know what I mean? They took those suckers out. So something else happened. And I don't know if we'll get more of that tomorrow. But again, for me, my brain went straight to Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman episode. I can't remember at the moment in season 3. It's Washidi. I know it is 1 and 2. And that was for me personally. And then when I knew that was based off of American history, I was like, okay. I can see how but this is more about also humanity, not necessarily directed at just Native Americans. How about just in general, how many times have people done junk that they shouldn't? Massacres have happened, say Valentine's Day massacres, massacres have happened. But humanity wise, I just feel like I think it's showing us what's going to push Boba Fett to that. And I think now with the whole water thing and the Pikes, I think now he's like, game over. Now I really feel like I also hope that this is when he starts stepping up, because y'all, I'm going to say, and this is one thing I have to say in disagreement, is that as much as I like Boba, I still love Fennec more, and she's kicking booty. She's
the crime boss. He's not. He's just he's holding the crown. And which, I mean, I guess technically, look at Jabba. He didn't do anything either, but he was in charge.
Right. I have to admit, you are right, because I always do make fun of those slugs for being slugs and not getting down off their litter and doing their own jobs. But I feel like more. He does do more.
Well, a little bit more. I'm still waiting for this big badass bounty hunter, fearsome warrior of the galaxy to show up. Well, and every time you turn around, he's in a stupid Bacta tank.
Do you guys think that the SAR thing changed him? Do you think that it changed his energy or changed his body or changed who he was? Like he's strong, but he's strong it's changed him, like physically. Anybody?
I don't know.
Possibly.
He seems detached from the character, and I don't know if it's because he actually has a lot of lines and a lot of dialogue, but there's just seems to be a disconnect between the actor and the character. They're not, to me, they're not meshing yet. And his dialogue seems forced. He just, I'm not getting a believable performance from Tamura to whatever,
Morrison,
I'm not getting a believable performance from him like I am from, say, Fennec. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that she embodies that character, and I didn't even like him back in the prequel trilogy when he was playing Django. There's just something about him that just kind of was like, I don't know. Maybe it's because of I've seen, some of the clone. You see the Clone Wars. You see how the troopers act. You get all the other stormtroopers that still in A New Hope are kind of mixed in, with the regular, with the new conscripts. They just act differently than what we get, and they're supposed to be identical clones. Boba is an identical clone of Jango Fett. So, but we're not getting. To me, there's just a disconnect, and I don't know what it is, but that's one of my dislikes that we haven't got to yet. But yeah.
Oh, I think we just got to it, but I know I had one huge dislike in the show. And it was the chase. Too slow, not enough energy. And I've been saying this since the first episode. I'm like, bring the energy, bring the heat, bring the energy, bring the energy, bring the energy. And I guess I was really surprised because I'm like going, Jon Favreau, you're a Marvel and a Star Wars guys. Like we all just saw Hawkeye, right? Hawkeye had this amazing speed chase. They could have went and talked to Hawkeye at this point because they needed that energy. They needed that speed. And it was just like, I get it. Aesthetically to the eye, it looked good, right? And aesthetic, whatever word it is. But it wasn't fast enough. And the energy wasn't there. And I'm like going, the fruit part was probably the best part of the chase. And that sucks because that's at the end. And it should have been more. It should have been faster. It should have been more faster. Something. It was missing. At least for me.
Yeah. I agree with you, but is that less the fault of Jon Favreau and more the fault of Rodriguez?
I'd put that on
Rodriguez directed it.
Yeah,
right.
I would put that square on Rodriguez.
Well, then this is the moment where I say, then why isn't Favreau and Filoni, love them, why are they not looking at him and going, dude, this is not what we want. You know what I mean? Like, let's get this energy going. And maybe, you know what, DJ, you're right. We talked about this at the beginning. You called it out and you said, you know what? I hope that he's not making himself so thin. He should be an executive to be looking over all this. And you're probably right. Because really, I think if we had like an eye like him on top of that, we probably would have gotten what everyone wanted, which is more speed. Like, you're in a car chase. Why are we acting like we're like going, do 5 miles an hour? Like, no.
So I mean, we have these new
not on Favreau, but now that I'm thinking about it though, I can see how if he was in the other chair, we probably would have gotten what we wanted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have these new speeders. They look good.
Yeah.
They look cool. I don't mind the colors. I really don't. I don't care the KitchenAid colors. That's fine. I honestly think, and I think I said this in our Red 5 chat, that I think that that was a marketing ploy. I think I see Lego sets coming for these speeders. There's so many different colors. To me, that didn't matter. What mattered was, and they remind me of a like a super bike for a street bike for motorcycles. So you have a Harley. It's rumbly. It's down to earth. It's like 1 to 2 tone. It's got like a black and the chrome. And then you have your super bikes, your speed bikes that have all the plastic on them, like the Suzuki Hayabusa or the Kawasaki Ninja, and they're so flashy, and you take notice of them when you see them, but then they act like a Vespa, not a speeder bike.
Sorry, that was loud and obnoxious.
And it's like, for frame of reference, a friend of mine texted me on Saturday and said, "Hey, I just picked up a Vespa." And I'm like, "Dude, I got to go see this." And so I hopped on it, and I'm a motorcycle rider. I've ridden for years. When you romp on an accelerator, you should go. And I turned it all the way, and Walmart electrical carts went faster than this thing. And I was like, wow, all right. I wanted the Dumb and Dumber, goggles with the scarf blowing in the wind, but it wouldn't blow in the wind. I would have had to have it with like a coat hanger or something out there to make it look like I was actually moving. But yeah, that was a big gripe on me. You have these big flashy scooters that look like that they're meaning some serious business, and they roll like an RV. And the T60 Hopper back in A New Hope would have outstripped this thing. So
R2D2 probably passed them up.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I know that they didn't show it that way because obviously they were crashing into stuff, but it was.
Not unless it went a lot faster than it looked. I mean, because they crashed into stuff. There was lots of stuff flying everywhere. Maybe they should have filmed it differently to really showcase the speed. Maybe they just filmed it wrong. But we had a better chase scene in Solo than we did for this one. Yeah. And the Solo speeder got stuck halfway down a building because he turned it sideways and went down. And I mean, yeah.
Right. Yep. Now I will say though, in regards to the gang, I do like the girl Dasher. Right? Is it Dasher? Did I say it right? I hope I did. I do like them. I actually feel like we might be seeing more. We will see more of them. I feel like they will probably be there in the long run. I think they're going to show loyalty to Boba. I'm still wondering if she's more than who she is. I know a lot of people are like, no, it's not Dr. Aphra, and they're probably right. I'm just trying to figure out who else she could be, because I feel like there's more to her than
I don't think that's Dr. Aphra.
I'm not sure if I'm not her, but I'm saying though that I feel like she's more or will become more.
Yeah.
Because
maybe.
She seems pretty significant. Maybe.
So what else don't you like? Was there anything else that you just didn't like?
Me, Steve?
Yeah. You. Yeah,
me.
You're still up. We're still dovetailing off of your
dislike.
I thought
we were taking turns and just round table here.
We can, I guess. I mean,
well, we were going. Everybody did their likes. Now everybody's doing their dislikes, and you were first up to bat on that one. Yeah.
I mean, that was it. I mean, those were my really big dislikes. I mean, the Hut Twins still make me laugh, and So I guess it's your guys' turn. What'd you guys think? What was your dislike? How about you, Steve? Because you haven't.
You already took mine. I mean, really, the only thing I didn't like about it was the chase scene.
Yeah, that was.
Same reason. I just thought it was kind of slow, and unlike you guys, I thought those things looked kind of silly.
I didn't mind them. I mean, they looked out of place,
Yeah.
but then again, maybe they're off-worlders and they brought their
Maybe
speeders with them.
I would have rather seen swoop bikes.
I agree. I agree 100%. But we got what we got. So
Yeah.
The only other thing I could think of is it's they were different, and so were the characters that were riding them, that did the self enhancements, with the droid parts. Something just seemed off about that. It reminded me a lot of Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, but yeah. I think we lost Nicole again. But what else? Anything else that you just didn't like, or?
No, that was really the only thing I didn't like about it. She looks like she tried to pop in and then there she is again.
There she is. All right. Technical
difficulties.
It's not Rogue One Radio without the technical
actually, no technical difficulty was me being clumsy and something fell and it was something liquid, so I had to act quick. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So we were still talking about the bikes and everything, and if you heard, I kind of made a reference to Back to the Future Part 2.
Okay,
that's kind of what the Vespa gang kind of reminded me of. Was Biff and his crew with all the cybernetic enhancements and the speeder bikes that looked like they're built by Mattel. But I would say that we all three agree on the chase. It just seemed off to varying different degrees. I think I didn't necessarily mind the speeders too terribly much.
Anybody in the chat anything about how slow those speeders were and didn't like them or did like them? Did anybody even in the chat like them? I mean, I've yet to see one who actually said that they liked the chase.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I think most of everybody just was not happy with that.
I didn't see what they thought about the bikes specifically, but I think we have an answer as to who that character is going to become. Dragon Buddy says she will become Princess Vespa.
Yeah, let's do it. Book it.
Yeah.
Let's get on it.
So what do you think, folks? Do you think we'll get a Star Wars Spaceballs?
Well, I mean, we kind of did in the last episode with the giant comb.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So here's another concern of mine.
Uh-oh. You said that first.
Get ready.
Hold on your chairs, folks.
I think this is going to probably probably get kicked out of the chat for this, but
lose us a lot of followers, or
I hated the use of the twins and Black Kyrgyzstan.
What?
Hated it.
You don't like the Wookiee?
Oh, I thought I thought he'd be an amazing character. But for 7 minutes, we have an attack by him that he's captured and put into a Rancor pit. Sure, he hits hard and he's got a knuckle duster, for some reason. I mean, he's a Wookiee. He doesn't need that. He could rip your arms off, but he needed a knuckle duster in order to make it a fair fight. It just was it. He attacked. They fought back. They captured him. Done deal. Move on. All right. Here are the twins. And the twins are like, our bad. We're getting out of town. Do whatever you want with him. And by the way, no hard feelings. Here's a Rancor. And I'm like, just like, what? Really? You've been set up. The first 2 episodes. Oh, we didn't see your litter. We didn't see your litter. Boom, boom, boom. Here comes the litter. Oh, here's the Hutts. They're in town. They have a gladiator Wookiee that is so fearsome and looks so cool that he's just going to wreak havoc upon everyone. This isn't over yet. We'll settle this later. Boom, boom, boom. Off they go. And then they come back for 3.5 minutes apiece. Yeah, sorry about that. Our bad. We're going to take our toys and we're going to go. Here's a parting gift of a Rancor, a fearsome monster if you want it to be. Or you can ride it into battle. Whatever's good for us. We'll see you later. And then, and they take off, and, the Wookiees, looking back, we already know that the Wookiee and Boba Fett, according to canon, have history already.
Right. But I truly believe he's going to end up being his ally. I think he's really going to come back, and I think we're going to see him.
Yeah, but, I mean, Boba Fett treats him like he doesn't even know him. Take it from an ex-bounty hunter. It's not worth it.
Right.
And then sets him free. I mean, they already supposed to know each other by this point. I mean,
based off a comic book, but at this point,
canon,
not. Well, okay, even in canon, obviously they must have reworked it, but I see what you're saying, because again, this show, as I've been saying it, energy. Where is the heat? Where is the energy? And that is exactly what you're even saying, because you know what I mean? That fight scene should have been bigger. It should have been better. It should have been faster. There should have been more, and it should have been a little less choreographed and a little bit more rougher, because you're right. I want to keep my arms. You know what I mean? And you're right.
There was 4 or 5 of those speeder bike crew, and Rose said it in the chat. He should have been able to, take one or 2 of them out.
Mm-hmm.
But no collateral damage, no real damage whatsoever. It wasn't believable, and so you have this big fierce, Wookiee that is supposed to, instill fear and, line. And this is how these Hutts keep control of stuff, is because they have this guy in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And in 3.5 minutes, it's over, and he's captured, and they just set him free. And he just, I guess I'll go over here now, and and hops across the dunes. And to me, that's storytelling. That's not necessarily direction. It's not necessarily execution. To me, that's that's on Favreau in the story. Come back later and be fixed, possibly, but it didn't make sense that you have this build up, because here are the Hutts. They're the ones that are in control, and for them just to tuck tail and run, and to apologize and say, yeah, well, sorry, whatever. We're leaving now because the Pikes are on their way.
Right, but I don't trust the Hutts as far as I can throw them, because they're slugs, and even though they're slugs, they're lazy slugs that don't do anything but yet get everything done. So yeah. I don't trust them still, even if they're offering up. I don't think the last time, but we'll see.
What else?
And I want to say this, and I hope nobody's gonna like down scream, but I just hope that this is not the umbrella of Disney saying, "Hey, continue to make this kid friendly, make this kid friendly, make this family friendly." And even though we want family friendly, kid friendly, I mean, could you imagine if it was really a whole no holds bar? I mean, really, maybe we would have gotten the faster, maybe we would have gotten a better fight. Maybe would have, you know what I mean? Like, Wookiee should have knocked out a couple of them,
I could see that if we didn't have the Marvel stuff. But the Marvel stuff is a lot grittier than what we're getting for Star Wars, and it's owned by the same company. So they're not going to. I mean, we've had gritty in Star Wars before. There's no reason why that they would, try to get it more kid friendly when the larger audience, as it is Marvel. And the superheroes, and with them being PG-13 constant over on the Marvel side of things, there's no reason to keep it PG on the Star Wars side either.
Maybe they just need to start pushing it. They need to start pushing the envelope, pushing harder. You know what I mean? Because
to me, Marvel is winning that. If they were having a ratings war, Marvel is winning it hands down. Easy. That's why I say if they had some of the writers from Marvel writing for the Star Wars, not to make it more like Marvel, but just engaging storylines and just the pacing. Maybe some of the execution would be solved if the writing was a little more firm. I don't know Favreau's writing style. He might say, "Hey, here's the outline," hand it to the director and say, "Here's their dialogue. Here's the outline of the scene, make it work." Or is he writing like a Marvel writer where everything is down to a nanosecond and micromanaged on, we're going to have choreographed, if you will. And, just because of the pacing that you have to do in those type of movies versus a Star Wars story.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because tomorrow is what? Episode 4?
4. Yeah. So it's the halfway point.
So we have 4, 5, 6?
7. 7 total. So we had 3 to begin with. We have the middle episode, and then we have the last 3.
I hope they really amp it up. And I really hope they finish strong.
So after all that, I'd like to change my answer.
Your answer to what?
Now that you mention it, and it's not really specific to the episode, I guess, but the show so far, they really haven't shown us what Black Sandy can do. They just
say it one more time.
They haven't really shown us what Black Santy can do yet.
Oh,
they show up. So those of us that know who he is are like, wow, this is incredible. We already know what he can do, but for those who have no idea who he is, they're just like, okay, so it's a Wookiee. So.
but he obviously looks like he's more of a Sith-like Wookiee. He's an evil Wookiee. He's badass.
But yeah, we don't really get, from context in the show, we don't know anything about him.
Right.
Unless you know who he is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Us that know who he is.
And while I'm excited for him and still excited for him, because I have to admit, I'm still excited for this character. And I really do truly believe that we're going to see it. I truly believe we're going to get that moment. I just wish we would have had more of that moment already.
I truly hope that we're going to get it.
Right, Star Wars has helped us learn about whole part about hope, and it's like I hope they are, Come
But
on.
another thing that I thought of during what DJ was talking about got me to thinking, why are the Hutts scared of the Pikes?
Good question. I'm telling you, something else going on.
I don't know if they're necessarily. I don't know if they're necessarily scared of them. I think that they will. I think they know that there's a big war coming.
What if
and so, what?
What if they're scheming together? You don't think?
Possibly, but I think
I don't know about that.
I think they're more waiting to.
Or do you think?
I don't think the Pikes really have much of an interest in Tatooine. I think they're more with, and we might get this in another flashback. They're more interested in Boba than actual control. So bring in the Pikes, let the Pikes and Boba fight it out. Once that's over with, the Hutts will be left to take charge. Which is normally their MO anyway. They're scavengers. They take over the pieces and institute their influence and take over after a war.
And that does make sense. And it does make sense because the Pikes are probably coming back because Boba was able to figure out their crap. You know what I mean? And call them out and be like, no, you're not going to do that. You know what I mean? And of course, maybe that's their MO against him, to go after him now that he's in his position. And of course, vice versa, because I really truly believe that because of what happened to the Tusken Raiders, he's going to stand up for the Tusken Raiders and going to be like, wait a minute, that's not going to happen. And of course, he's not going to have my little attitude. He's going to have, hopefully, his Boba Fett bounty hunter going to kick some booty, attitude coming.
So this is from what I'm understanding. The flashbacks are from, say, Return of the Jedi, or right thereafter. And this show is set 5 years to 7 years after that. So we don't know what happened if Boba rained down fire on the Pikes that were there at the time. And we're getting these flashbacks. We might see that in this next episode where he knows that it wasn't that biker gang that he already beat up and took their speeders, in which, if I remember right, on the tent that was burnt down or turn up, there's that logo that was on the speeder bikes for that biker gang. I think he's going to realize that it was the Pikes who engineered this whole thing anyway. And so he's going to probably burn them to the ground. And then this is what's leading up to this big final thing. Boba's back. He's on Tatooine. Now the Pikes want revenge. And so they're coming in guns blazing to take out Boba. So I just, that's the only thing I could think of that really makes sense with the way that it's played out so far. I could be all wet and, but I can't see, especially after the Hutts leaving, and then you get, a mediocre fight with Black K. There's got to be something bigger. Either that, or it's just going to start a whole bounty hunter, a guild war. With the Hutts and the Pikes and the Crimson Dawn, which we're supposed to be getting in, any of the other ones that we get. Because I guess after Crimson Dawn, then they turned into Kanji Club or something like that.
No, sorry, I
Yeah.
That's something that I heard. I was just like, country ghost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's actually, there's record of who does what and what happened to the crime
Mm-hmm.
things after this time, after this period of time. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not giving up on it. I still am enjoying the show. There's just a lot of things that I have issue with, but I'm still enjoying it. It's a Star Wars story.
Yeah. I could go with that. It's great. But there are a few things we can nitpick about it, and that's why we're here.
Right.
We're here to nitpick.
Otherwise this would be a very short show. I mean, we've been talking for an hour on, just nitpicking one episode of this TV show.
Well, and I feel like the Book of Boba Fett, it's good, but we're not to great, fantastic yet. And I feel like that's where they need to go. And I'm waiting for them to punch it, Chewie. Like, come on, let's give it to them. Like, because that's what we're expecting and anticipating. And I feel like we're not getting that level that we all wanted or anticipated. I'm not trying to be nitpicky. I liked most of this episode. There was two things I think I mentioned, maybe three, but not much that I did not.
All right, here's an over-under for you. What's the over-under on having a big Mandalorian type reveal in the last episode, but instead of Luke Skywalker, it's Han Solo?
I think it's maybe.
That'd be the most likely thing to happen. It would make the most sense.
Wouldn't that be interesting if Han Solo comes in and saves the day?
That's another thing we could get. What if we got him again?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought, it's who's the guy that put Boba in the Sarlacc pit? Han Solo. What if Han Solo came in and saved the day? I'm sure there's not a Sarlacc anymore. Maybe there's more than one Sarlacc. But what if?
But now about it, why would it be Han Solo? Other than I want it to be Han Solo because Han Solo is awesome. He's fantastic. He's cool. But beyond that,
doesn't have to make sense if it sells.
But I want it to make sense. If we're going to be this nitpicky, it better make sense. And I'm not trying to be nitpicky.
I agree.
Nitpicky, actually. I think I'm pretty.
People would, if that were to happen in some shape or form, people would lose their collective minds.
Yeah.
I don't mind losing my mind as long as I have a good reason for it. Just say. It better be a good reason because it's got to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't need to be there. And I want it to make sense. And at this point, they need to start punching it. I mean, they should have turned that dial up on the first episode and they just have it. And again, why do I keep talking about it? It's not what we wanted.
Everybody's right.
Yeah.
More Star Wars.
It's
we
what
just
we
want more
want
Star Wars.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Well, I guess that is it for tonight. Thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, please.
And make sure to subscribe.
And thanks for everybody in the chat room that came in and hung out with us.
Yes, thank you.
Next week we'll be back to talk about chapter 4.
Yep.
And I'm looking at our dates because we have a week coming up where we're going to be, I think we're going to be airing on the Monday instead of the Tuesday.
Oh, February.
For Star Wars Podcast Day.
Are we wait, we'll chat about that. I know we're talking about doing
Yeah.
podcast, but I'm wondering, are we keeping that day? But we could talk about that later.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that's all going to work out. I guess we'll figure it out. But yeah, we got a few more weeks to come in our Boba Fett show schedule, and then I think after that
we have something special coming up. I think
do
we
have
should
something special coming up that we won't talk about, but
quiet for the
yeah,
moment.
we do have something special coming up after the after we're done with Boba Fett.
It's important. But yeah.
Yes, the history of root canals. Oop.
Oh man!
Yeah, now we're gonna lose followers. Thank you.
Dang it! Spoiler alert, man!
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
All right, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you again next week. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Hello.